Bob, thanks so much for joining us. We're here today to talk about your involvement in the Association of BellTel Retirees. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved with the association, because you're a founding member.
Well, it goes back about 25 years, actually almost 25 years to the month. In October of 1995, I got a telephone call. It was snowing like a son of a gun outside up here in New York, actually on Long Island in New York. And the call came into my home from Bill Jones. Bill Jones was another executive that I worked with at New York Telephone and NYNEX for about 30 years. Good friend of mine, lived in my hometown of Huntington in Long Island. And Bill called to discuss the issue of not receiving any COLAs, which are cost of living adjustments to our pension in the 4 or 5 years since Bill and I retired in 1990. We decided at that point to make a conference call with 2 other former executives that were friends of ours on Long Island. And the 4 of us had a conference call and discussed the fact that since we retired in 1990, there was only 1 COLA in 1992 that was given to retirees for their pension. So we said, that's not right. They're increasing the health care premium to retirees, not giving us an increase in our pension. We really ought to talk about this and see what we can do about it. So we got together for lunch, the 4 of us, and we discussed the fact that each of us, unknown to each other, were sending letters to the then CEO, the Chief Executive Officer of NYNEX, whose name was Ivan Seidenberg. None of us were receiving a reply from him. So we decided to do something about it. We each threw in $350 of our personal money and found 2 or 3 other retirees who we knew that joined us. So we were like the 6 or 7 musketeers at the beginning, and we chipped in about $2,000 in total to look into forming an organization and incorporating. We found an attorney. We incorporated as a 501c3, which is a not-for-profit corporation in which your donations and your contributions are tax deductible, which is a good feature. And also a 501c3 not-for-profit doesn't pay income tax. All of our contributions and donations are 100% used for our mission. So we had been sending letters, like I say, to the CEO of Verizon, not getting an answer. So now we started to say to ourselves, okay, we're incorporated. And I guess now we're in around March of 1996. And we decided to put a strategic business plan together. And we decided we had to grow this organization from the 7 of us. And we started setting up card tables outside of union meetings of the CWA, the Communication Workers of America, and the IBEW, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. When they had a meeting, we'd set up a table outside and tell people as they were leaving the meeting what we were trying to do and getting names and addresses. We also set up tables in snowstorms and rainstorms outside of Pioneer meetings because we couldn't go into the Pioneer meeting and talk, because at that time, the telephone companies were funding the pioneers. So at the end of the first year, we had about 1,200, I guess, members. And the membership started to grow. Like I say, after 1 year, about 1,200, maybe after 3 or 4 years, we had 10,000. And before you know it, we had a peak of about 134,000 retirees, which we still use as a number today. We think there were about 220,000 retirees from Verizon, but with people passing on and nowadays people not getting pensions, the number has been reduced. But we did grow to about 134,000. Our membership today is broken roughly 50-50. 50% former union represented retirees and 50% former management retirees.
Bob, sorry to interrupt. Let me just ask you, how did retirees respond to the idea of joining an association like BellTel?
Retirees were very, very enthusiastic. They too, in some cases, were writing letters, making their self shown at the shareowner meetings of the company then known as 9X, and not really getting anywhere. So they were very enthusiastic to support us, and we grew to this 134,000 by actually ones and twos. As we'd sign up a new member, that member would have a Christmas list or have a list of his friends, share his address list with us. We would send a newsletter out. Around the time we started this, which I say was 1996, we decided we needed a public relations firm to help us. We interviewed several different people and finally came to the conclusion that a new youngster business by the name of Tom Butler was the person we wanted to go with. And Tom Butler and Butler Associates have become part of our Association of BellTel Retirees family. We've been with them for 23, 24 years. We put a mission statement together, sort of a business plan. And basically our mission statement says that we're going to protect and enhance pensions, the healthcare benefits, and other retirement benefits that retirees earned, and I heavy on the pronunciation of that word earned, because we earned our benefits. They weren't given to us free. They were given to us in lieu of salary. In my particular case, I could have went out and worked for an architectural firm and probably made more money than working for the Bell system. But the Bell system had fantastic benefits while you were an active employee and great benefits when you retired. So we wanted to protect those benefits. We started to publish with Butler Associates a quarterly newsletter and have never missed a quarter publication in the 24 years or 24 and a half years we've been sending out a newsletter. I think right now we're approaching edition number 100, which would naturally be our 25th anniversary. We had a four-prong approach, and we continue that four-prong approach on carrying out our mission to protect and enhance retirement benefits for all retirees. That four-prong approach or strategy is to negotiate with the executives of Verizon on issues that affect retirees, to submit proxies at the annual Verizon shareowner meeting to get attention of the board of directors, the shareholders, and the media on what retiree issues are. We have submitted legislation. That's the third prong. We legislate, put bills into Congress to try to protect retirement benefits, mainly pensions and health care. And the last prong or fourth prong approach, which we try to avoid but have used several times, is to litigate. We have been to the United States Supreme Court twice. Now, believe it or not, here's a retiree organization that brought an issue to the Supreme Court. They heard it not only once, they heard it twice. We weren't successful. They choose usually, I think, 60 or 80 at the most per year. And here they accepted a bill and a proposal that our retiree association was putting forth. So that's the four-prong approach that we use. We have a board of directors. I've retired from the association, and I was elected a board of director emeritus, but we still have 10 or 11 board members. They've always been volunteers, former retirees of Verizon or of AT&T, and they're unpaid positions. We do this because we see a need for it